All right. Forgive my voice and how I don't know if it shows up on camera, but Red had a crazy day at work out in the sun. But today I want to talk about how guilt is used to control people and control the masses, and how we have built our entire society on this. This just formed it on this guilt and all that. But okay, so guilt. All these major religions are the thing they're most guilty of. There's a whole long list. None of them are safe. What are they all formed on? What is a lot of these systems of religion, systems of government, what is it all formed on to make you feel guilty? They want to control you through guilt. They make you feel bad for doing this, feel bad for doing that. This is a sin, that's a sin. You can't do that, you can't do this, or this is wrong. This is the only way that's right. The best way to control people, in these people's eyes, is through fear and guilt. And you got to learn how to separate from that. The best thing you can do is to not give in to that stuff. Don't give in to all those churches to say this is a sin, that's a sin. Don't give in to the Quran that's talking about all this evil about these people aren't the right people. They should be ashamed because they're not that people. And it's all these religions, whether you're Jewish, Muslim, Christian, they're all built to just control you and keep you down, keep you from actually learning yourself, experiencing true consciousness, experiencing enlightenment. You'll never find any ounce of peace in your life through those groups. Any group, whether it be this New Age religion, this New Age Christianity, this New Age, the worst thing that human beings have ever created was groups in general. Oh, I'm a part of this group. Because what happens when you become part of a group is you end up defending that group's ideals, no matter if they're good or bad. And you stop thinking for yourself, and you think as this hive mind of people that can't ever justify anything for why they're doing it, but it's because they're told to do it for this reason, or they believe they have to do it for this reason. It's all this different stuff. You have to be an individual. You cannot follow a group. You cannot be a part of. You cannot get yourself attached to these identities, these group identities. And so it's like one of the worst things you can do. And it's just you can't let them. It's meant to control you, and if you don't want to be controlled, you want to be an individual. You have to be an individual. People always talk about being a leader, being this or that. What that really is being yourself, being an individual. You can't just plaster this man-made identity onto yourself and act like everything's okay. I don't believe people when they say, I used to be a rapist, like Conor McGregor right now. This is filmed in July of 2026. Conor McGregor is being charged with multiple counts of rape. But does anybody care now? Because, he's a born-again Christian. That doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't do anything for you. Sorry, this is a very unflattering angle. I know. But and this idea of God that all these religions preach is literally bullshit. All of it is bullshit. I'm sorry to tell you, it's bullshit. I know it's going to make a lot of people upset when they hear that, but it is complete and utter bullshit. God is the seed that's planted inside of you in birth, and that seed is consciousness. That's God. That's the only God-like thing in this entire fucking existence of everything is your consciousness. Consciousness is God. Consciousness is that power. Consciousness is that power of energy inside, what courses through your veins, what gives you life. Without consciousness, you won't be able to move this. I won't be able to do this. I won't be able to even grasp it. The idea of doing that. Without consciousness, ants won't be able to move from they're from one place to another. They won't be able to go get food. They won't know how to do these things. It takes consciousness to understand this stuff. Plants wouldn't know without some form of consciousness how to get photosynthesis. It's not just something that you just do. It's not just something that just happens. It's understood from within. But that seed inside of you can plant a fucking seed. This seed of consciousness, you can plant a seed, but it never grows, or it grows like shit, and the plant looks like shit, and it's ugly. It doesn't mean the plant's gonna be good. There's poisonous plants, and there's beautiful plants that give you health and longevity. Which one will you be? How will you use that consciousness? That's what it is. That seed of consciousness is there to be, it's going to grow either way, but is it going to grow to be vile, thorns, poison, or is it going to grow to be lush, compassionate, caring, healing? That's for you to decide in this lifetime and all the other lifetimes. You can decide to be good, or you can decide to be bad. You can decide to put evil in this world, or you can decide to put good in this world. You can decide to be heaven, or you can decide to be hell. That's what you can decide. That's all you can do. Oh, and surprise, surprise, don't be a dick. Don't pick the fucking bad one. Be a good fucking person. Be compassionate. Be caring. Be loving. Care for the earth. Start taking some stuff seriously. Take this global warming stuff seriously. Take these wars. No matter what war it is, if it's a war, you can't justify it. There's not a single war in this world that can be justified, because war is evil. All things considered, if you're killing each other, you're fucked up. Doesn't matter how you're justifying it. Doesn't matter. We're in a backwards world. We gotta start shifting our ideas of what's right and wrong and what's important, because it's wrong, and our leaders have especially had to do it. And another thing, government. We shouldn't have one. I think I said this in the last video. Borders, this idea of foreigners, it makes no living actual sense if you really sit down and think about it. We were all born on a round globe. Is there any lines on the earth when you go to the border of Alabama, when you go to the border of America, do you see actual fucking border lines? No, you don't. That's man-made garbage. Man-made utter garbage. And this idea of a foreigner, what is a foreigner? We're all living on the same land. How are we foreign? There's no such thing. It doesn't make any sense. Some people just are darker than others because they live in the sun a lot of time, and some people are whiter than others because they live in the sun in the least amount of time. And then you got it in the middle. Have you seen a color shading? Have you seen a shading spectrum when you pick colors on a website or something? How it fades from one color to the next? That's all we are. It's literally as simple. It's just science. You go somewhere hot, guess what? You're going to get darker. You go somewhere cold, you're going to get lighter. And what have humans done with that? What have humans done with just some simple change in geography? They've made whole entire identities out of, well, I'm superior because I'm this, or I'm superior because I'm that. Well, this came first or that came first. And you have this and I have that. It makes no sense. If everybody just wants to have a bad existence, everybody just wants to be negative and be divided, then we just need to go ahead and admit it that, hey, we're being racist and we're evil and we want everybody to be divided. But what we should be doing is you let go of this idea of race. You stop holding on to this pride over whatever race you are, or this pride over whatever religion you are, or this pride of whatever country you came from, because it doesn't exist. It's all man-made garbage. It's garbage. We are people, and we are on this earth. Everybody has a shared home, and it is the planet Earth, and we are all one race of people because we're just people. There's none of this other garbage. And religion too, let it go. Religion is a curse on humanity. All religion, no matter what it is. I don't, even what I'm saying, I don't want you to just take these videos and be like, oh yeah, that's what. Think for yourself. Dive within yourself. Dwell within yourself. And meditate and find out who you are, because consciousness is you are your conscious. That is you. That is you. That's all it is. This white skin, this curly hair, this shirt, this is not me. This is nothing. It's absolutely nothing. I could be a fat Indian guy with a big mustache. I could be a skinny little Asian woman. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you are. It doesn't matter. You're put in a shell to learn and experience, and you're gonna learn and experience everything. The whole point of this reincarnation, this consciousness, is to experience and learn and grow and to understand that really it's pretty fucking simple, that we're consciousness. Consciousness is you. And it's that simple. And guess what life is? Guess where you're stuck? You're going to be on Earth. Earth isn't going anywhere. It's not going to be hurt. Humans can't do anything that the Earth can't handle. Doesn't mean we don't think this. Doesn't mean we just stop caring because the Earth's going to be okay no matter what and just keep fucking it up. Because that's not the answer. That's just going to lead to more harm and destruction for us and for everything around us. But the Earth ain't worried about us. The Earth's going to be all right. We are, regardless, if you think you're going to heaven, if you think you're going to die and go to this little trumpets in heaven and gold roads, you're not. If you think you're going to die and go to hell, you're not. If you think you're going to die and go anywhere, you're not. You're coming back here. Whether in one way or another, you're going to come back here. You might be a human, you might be a plant, you might be a dog, you might be a butterfly. You're coming back to experience life in one way or another. That's all we have. That's all it is. Everything's a circle. You got the circle of life. You got the circle of the food chain. You got everything. And you got nature. Nature grows in spirals. Everything naturally takes the form of a spiral or a circle. It's the most, if you break it all down to the microscopic level, everything's a circle and everything's a spiral. That's life. And guess what this existence is? We're energy. We're energy that is embodying a shell. And when the energy can't be destroyed or created. That's science. Everybody can agree on that unless you're a fucking idiot. Or you're just ignorant. Unless you're just ignorant. Sorry for the harsh language. But we can all agree that energy cannot be nor created nor destroyed. It exists and it persists. It's always existed. It will always exist, and it will never go away. Now, do you want to have a word? So here's the thing. There's this hidden knowledge that not a lot of people can be trusted with. It's not that people don't want people to know this knowledge. It's that most human beings are not on a level to understand or care, and if they do understand or care, they will use it for bad. They will not use it for good. But no one's ever gotten, barely anybody sees this, barely anybody watches this, so you want to hear what it is? You can break free from it. Because guess what you are? Energy. That energy doesn't have to go into a shell. It doesn't have to be sucked into this existence. But it doesn't necessarily mean that this existence is evil. This existence is terrible and bad. It's beautiful because it is. It just is. It exists and it is. However good or ugly or bad, it is true and it is. You're going to die and you're going to be reborn. You're going to die and you're going to be reborn and you're going to experience. But if you ever reach enlightenment, if you ever really sit down and think and understand what I'm telling you about this consciousness and how it's truly you, and that you can be attached from it, you can meditate and learn who you really are and detach yourself from the body, detach yourself from the shell. You don't have to be confined to this. But it's not like what I'm teaching is not, be enlightened and then when you die, you just go float around in blackness forever. That's not what's going to happen. You're going to be reborn every time. You're going to have a life. But in each lifetime, you can understand. You can come to this conclusion and you can understand. And you can find peace through meditation. You can find peace through stillness. You can find peace through quietness. Human beings have this escapism complex because we've made the world so disgusting and evil. You got to think about it. The reason everybody wants to die and go to heaven is because this world is not that cool of a place to live. People look around subconsciously or consciously and say, wow, this kind of sucks. There's nothing, and you know why? It's not because of nature. No one's ever looked at nature. No one's ever been out in quiet, still, peaceful nature and thought life sucking then. People think about life sucking when they're in the fucking office. People think about life sucking when they're in their construction job. People think about life sucking when they're on TikTok and trying to chill at home and they keep seeing all these negative, terrible things that human beings are doing to each other. That's when people are disgusted. That's when people want to escape. That's what people are escaping from. That's what people are running away from. We have done that to ourselves. Everything that we fear and everything we want to escape was built and done by us and created by us out of pure ignorance and pure greed and just these falsehoods that we've propped up by rich people wanting to be rich. People have to have poor people so they can even be rich. There'd be no concept of rich. If we dismantle all that, there'd be no power over another human being. They didn't have that kind of power over each other. But to have that kind of power that they have to have somebody below them that they can manipulate, that they can flaunt that power upon. That's the problem with this society, is you got people up here, and you got people right here, and then you got people down here. And the people down here want to be up here. And the people up there are so high, and they just love looking down at the people down here. And the people in the middle want to get high. Everybody wants to climb, and then when they get to the top, they want to forget where they came from and just be an asshole. And pretend like they're just the bee's knees, and they're not just a shitty little human being like we all are. That's the problem in this society. Human beings won't have this idea of heaven and wanting to escape, and hell, that's all hell is just a way to guilt and control people into doing what the church wanted back in the day. That's just don't even give hell any benefit. I can understand why people want there to be some kind of heaven, but don't even give this idea of some hell and suffering or purgatory any benefit of any doubt. Anybody that ever tries to guilt you and tell you that you're going to go to some torturous place when you die because of this or that, they are fucking disgusting, and you don't even give it the time of your fucking day. The only thing that you can even call hell is if you're a piece of shit in this lifetime, and in the next lifetime you're going to have to go through something rough to learn. I believe if you go through this lifetime just hating on special needs people and making jokes and just being disgusting and actually genuinely having hatred towards them and just making fun of them or being mean to somebody with special needs, your next life, you're going to be a special needs person, and you're going to struggle, and you're going to understand what it's like to be that, whether it be consciously or subconsciously. You're going to understand in that lifetime what it is to suffer like that, what it is to be that, and you'll learn. If you're racist and hate black people in this lifetime, you're some racist white. Guess what your next lifetime is going to be? I do believe that you'll be a black person. You'll experience racism, and you'll understand what it is to be that, and vice versa. But you're not going to just die and go get tortured. That doesn't make any sense. That is a man-made concept, just like heaven is. Don't give in to all that stuff. Heaven is what we can make earth, and hell is what we can make earth. And I am telling you right now, we have completely turned earth into hell. That is why people want to escape, because we are actually living in this hell that we have created for ourselves. Humans would not have this escapism fantasy of heaven and all this other bullshit that we all think about and love. Oh, I wish I could do. Oh, I just wish I lived it. Sometimes my dumbass will play a little fantasy game. I'll play Skyrim. I'll play Elder Scrolls and be like, oh man, I just wish I could live there. The reason we have we say all this dumb stuff and we have this escapism fantasy is because the way that we've made the world. We didn't have to make the world this way. The world could be a place of life to flourish, and for people to just get by, survive, nurture, and care for one another. The only harm that should be any worry to human beings at all should have just ended at being hunted by a big tiger in the wilderness. And even then, if truly, I'm not saying humans are not the only ones with egos. We're not. We truly are not. Other animals have egos. My cat, that fat ass right there, has one of the biggest egos I've ever seen. Humans are not the only ones struggling with this. Misa's not reaching enlightenment. My cat, that's her name. She's gonna be reborn as like probably some bird out there that she hates. And she's going to learn what it's like to be a bird and be like, oh, damn, I'm judging too hard. But I digress. I get there's going to be tragedies. Tragedies happen, but we don't have to cause them to ourselves. Yes, a big lion back in the day probably came and grabbed somebody out of their cave. But we didn't do that to ourselves? That's a tragedy that happened. Tragedies are going to happen. Other animals have to eat. People have to eat. We have to eat meat to survive. Of course, things are going to happen. I'm not saying you can't go your whole life without doing some, like, but it doesn't, we don't have to cause it to each other, and we can do it respectfully. We don't have to maul. We don't have to make these farms where we breed these chickens to be fat and to where they can't have fulfilling lives. Like we chickens, by the way, are supposed to be slim and yellow. They're supposed to be a yellow of color. They're not supposed to be white. They're not supposed to be, the meat is not supposed to be this white meat. Chicken meat is supposed to be yellow because of what they eat in nature, what they pick from the ground. But that they're being force-fed grains and being made fat so they can sell the biggest pound chicken on the market. We have made industries out of life. Now, you can argue it's one thing to make a major industry out of making toys. It's one thing to make an industry out of this. But it's all evil. You can't argue that. These manufacturers end up using slavery tactics to get this stuff made. That's already one bad thing. And then we've made whole infrastructures out of life. We mass produce life to be slaughtered. These pigs these animals that all they know is they live in this crate and they get slaughtered and they die. All they know is fear. All they know is confusion and fear. And that's millions of innocent lives right now. It doesn't have to be that way. The nature will provide. Everything should be wild. Everything should be free. Everything should be free to experience and roam. And it shouldn't be how it is now. It should not. We've got everything so utterly backwards and confused. But we're put here to love, nurture, and heal, and that is I'm going to say that every video, and it's just, this is not what we're doing right now. Anyway, and speaking about why, since we live the world we live in, and it doesn't seem like things are changing right now, you're gonna have to survive it. People are gonna hate you. You're gonna when you become this, when you have new understanding, and you start coming into under this new understanding and start dwelling in yourself and letting go. A lot of people have family, and most people, they have a lot of they have family. They believe in something. They have some kind of religion, and they're gonna despise you. They're probably gonna dislike you. I hope they don't. I hope people have understanding loved ones. But my family is understanding. They still love me. They're not being hateful, but they're being ignorant. They don't understand what I'm speaking, they're not willing to understand me and where I'm coming from. Their religion has made them turn their eyes off to this. My grandma, my grandfather, my mom, they're not going to ever sit down and meditate. They're not going to ever sit down and actually think about this stuff. They're not going to actually sit down and learn this stuff. I don't think anybody in my family is, from what I've heard. They're all just closed off to everything, all this stuff, and they're never willing to sit down and listen, and to actually dwell in themselves and actually practice the single eye, and know the true consciousness, who you are and what is within you, within this shell. But people are going. The thing with this, you must turn the other cheek. That you have to do that. You cannot bring harm to these motherfuckers. You can't stoop on their level. I used to carry a gun everywhere I went, because I was so scared, and I was just so ready to just kill anybody that threatened my life or people I love life. But I'll never have a weapon of harm or destruction on me ever again, unless I'm like camping in the woods and I need like something for a bear or something. But even then, I don't think I could do that. I would have to have bear mace. I don't want to kill anything. Listen, this is a controversial take. I know I just said people are gonna have to eat, but yeah, yes, maybe you don't. I don't think you necessarily... We've evolved ourselves to need meat, I'll say that. And these other creatures have evolved themselves to eat meat. But I personally, like, I will eat it, but I can't harm it. I can't. I don't think it's good for anybody unless it's absolutely necessary for survival, for absolutely necessary to do any kind of hunting or any kind of harm to any life. There's no need in trophy hunting. There's no need in all that bullshit. It's these things are this is another backwards thing that we've started. Is this trophy hunting and this fishing just to fish and throw them back. Those fish don't want, they're just trying to live in their water. You think they want people dropping hooks down all the time just so they can say they caught something? I mean, that's like if me and you were walking around trying to live, trying to eat, and trying to survive, and some giant came up and just grabbed us by the cheek and just ripped us up out of the water and let the hole in our mouth start bleeding everywhere. And showed all their other giant buddies, look, I got one. See how cool I am because I can get one? And just threw you back on the ground. Left you with this hole in your mouth to deal with. Left you in pain, left you in fear. It doesn't make any sense. People going out just to kill an animal, just so they can cut its neck off and hang on their wall and not actually use its meat for anything. And I don't like when people, well, I did use this meat. I made deer jerky. You didn't need to, though. Did you need that deer jerky to survive? Did you need that stuff? No, you didn't. None of these people are actually doing this for the reasons they think they're trying to pretend that they are. They pretend that they're these Billy badass people that can hunt and fish. But you don't need to do that unless we're all... If y'all want to actually go back to living how we're supposed to, then yeah, then we can start hunting out of... And then guess what? You respect that life. You don't just, let me hang the antlers up and look how cool this is. Respect that life. You just took a living being's life. You snubbed its experience short because you needed to feed. That is the circle of life. That's what it's there for. But you gotta treat it with respect. It's a big deal. It's a huge fucking deal to take a life. Whether it be a bug, an ant, or a big bear. It's a big fucking deal. I don't know why people draw the line in just taking the life of a human like it's any different than taking the life of anything else. But these people, they're gonna... I digress again. You're gonna get a lot of hate. People might even physically hurt you, but it does not mean you can't fight back. Listen, this may be radical. I'm a radical person. If anybody came up beating on me, trying to kill me, guess what I would do? Turn and just let them. If that's the evil that they are willing to commit in this lifetime, I am not going to stoop back and defend myself. And defend what? What? Defending? What am I defending? This body? It's nothing. If they just want to go ahead and put me in my next life, if they're willing to commit that evil in that ignorance, that major level of ignorance on another life, then that's okay. Sometimes they literally might kill you. Let them. Call it radical if you want. I mean, it just is what it is. But yeah, sorry, it got a little dark there. Yes. If you take anything from this video, don't follow the mob. Follow yourself. Just be good. Be peace. Be understanding. Be compassionate. Be love. Don't give in to all this crap. Be caring to all things, all creatures, all life. Don't give in to all these groups. Don't follow groups. Follow yourself. Don't get lost in all this just man-made garbage, because it's all man-made garbage. The only thing that truly exists in this earth, is the life around you, the actual life around you, whether it be nature or creatures, or us included, and water, and that's it. And land. That's all that's it. That's all that's fucking real. All this TV, this dresser, this house, it's not gonna last. You know what will last? Life. And you know what else will last? Plant life. Which is supposed to say it's all life. It's all just life. So life will last. None of this, all this other shit, this dead bullshit, is all gonna just fall and crumble one day. The house I'm in with all the memories, it's going to be somebody else's memories one day, and it was somebody else's memories before me, and then it's all going to be crumbled up nothing one day. It's going to be like it never existed. And these shells are going to crumble one day. The only thing that's really true is life. And what is life? What does all life have? Consciousness. That's it. You were given this earth to exist on. You were given this earth to have an experience and to learn and to be compassionate and loving and caring and to nurture. That is it. But we've corrupted it. We've corrupted the whole meaning of it. But anyway, I gotta go. Peace out. Love y'all. And I'll see y'all later next video.